Hello, busuafo yema obi biara akwaba eba Chams Media GH. Eso mo amunuaba mo maame mo sonfo mo grandma lover of marriage Mama J and Amatina marriage Germany. And just like you all know, the mission and the vision of this show is just one: to make sure that the things that we did not know when we were growing up, the things that we did not know when we first got married, you will have the opportunity and the privilege to know about it, so that the mistakes that we made, you will not make that mistake again. So today we want to talk about a very important topic, and it is dealing with money in a relationship, dealing with money in your marriage. A lot of people tend to shy away from talking about money. A lot of people think it's a bit difficult, it's a bit awkward to talk about money. And so they don't talk about it, and before they realize, it's too late to talk about it. Money is number one cause of divorce in the world. Money can cause your marriage. Money can make your marriage. And so that is why we want to talk about it today. You need to talk about money because the way your husband grew up is different from how you grew up. How his mom or dad were handling money is different from how your mom or dad also handled money. And so now that both of you have agreed to marry, it is good that you talk about it. Some women have this saying that my money is my money, but your money is our money. I just want to let you know that I don't know what your marriage is based on, but if your marriage is based on the Bible, then remember the Bible says that you will leave your mom and your dad, and you will, join with your wife, and you will become one. And for that reason alone, I believe that you don't have your money, I don't have my money, we have our money. So when it comes to who controls the money in the marriage, because the man is the head of the family, sometimes we tend to think that he should be the one to control the money. He should be the one to pay the bills. He should be the one to tell us which one we are using for and which one we are not using for. When it comes to money, it doesn't really have to be the man to control the money. I would say whoever is good with money can control the money. And so if you are the man and your wife is good with money, I think there is nothing wrong with you asking your wife, hey honey, I see handling money, taking care of money is your strength. And because you are better than me, I want you to handle the money. By so doing, it actually shows that yes, you are the man of the house, but you are also very, very wise man, because you are lucky enough to have a woman who, instead of spending the money, will actually make sure that you are saving the money. A lot of people, when they work, the woman and the man, they usually bring the money, and they will tell you that, hey, take 10% of your money, I'll take 10% of mine, and we will join it together and we will save it after paying all the bills. And others will also tell you that, hey, because you make more than me, I'll bring 15% and you will bring also 10%. So I believe that those who work, and for you to tell me that we should each bring 10% after paying bills, especially if we are all not making the same amount of money. If I am making lesser money than you, then it is not fair to me that I'll bring 10% and you also bring 10%. And then some people also have agreements that I'll pay the bills, I'll pay the rent, and you should also feed us, and you should buy clothing for the kids if we have any. And sometimes that become a bit difficult because those who want to rent an apartment will not mind. They wouldn't care where they will rent the place because they know that they are responsible of paying for the rent. And so sometimes they will look for a cheaper place, low income place, and then they will rent the apartment. And I don't know about Ghana, but in America or in other countries in diaspora, most places that you rent, if you are living that place and if it's too much of low income family, sometimes the school system is not the best. And so because your husband doesn't want to spend too much money, he might end up renting a place at a very, very low income community. And by renting at this low income community, it will affect your children. You ask me how? It will affect your children because that place is very low income community. And because of that, sometimes the school system there is not the best. And that's where your children will end up. They might not have a good foundation, and that will affect you in the future. Also, because the wife is feeding the family, I have seen where the woman will just go to the market and she will buy all the rotten tomatoes. She will buy the cheap and the fatty side of the meat because those sides are a bit cheaper. That is where she will do the shopping. And so that is how she's going to feed the family. And we have to remember that feeding your family off these rotten tomatoes can even cause a lot of diseases. Feeding your family because those are the cheaper things can cause your family to be sick. But because she doesn't want to spend too much money, because she wants to save some money for herself, that is how she's going to feed the family. Also, because they want to be able to save a lot of money for themselves, because they are responsible for buying clothes for their children, they will make sure that, excuse me to say, you look at the kids and sometimes you wonder if they are from the same parents. Yes, because the parent will dress up well, but because the mom or the woman is responsible for using her money to feed the family and also to buy clothing for the kids, you realize that each and every time she doesn't really care too much about the kids, you know, because she doesn't want to spend too much. So one thing I've realized is if you are able to join the money together, because the Bible says you are one, and you are able to put the money in one basket, then it's easy to distribute them. Once you're able to put the money in one basket, you can decide that, hey, we are going to raise our children, and this is the neighborhood that we want to raise the children. Yes, it might be expensive neighborhood. Yes, the housing over there is not that cheap. But because we want a better education for our children, because we want better future for our children, it doesn't matter that that place is expensive. After paying your bills, you can even do investment. Both of you can decide that, hey, we want to invest in this money. As much as you are saving, you also want to live a life. And so that is why it's good that, yes, you'll be able to save, you'll be able to put some money away for vacation, you'll be able to put some money away for emergency funds, you'll be able to put some money away for your children's education. You know, by doing that, then you, both of you, need to pay yourself as well. Some people call it allowance, and I call it pay myself as well. Women, we tend to spend more than men. If your husband is a reasonable man, then he can agree that, hey, I will take 10% and you should take 15% out of the money that have left. And you can use that money to buy whatever you want to buy within that month. And so you see, when you put the money together, it helps you guys to focus in life It helps you guys to decide how much you want to save. It helps you guys for your children education. It helps you to be able to save for vacation and even for emergency. At the same time, somebody will say, now that my money is being controlled, what is the advantage and the disadvantage? The advantages is that as marriage couple, it helps you guys to focus on your goal. It helps your children to have good education and good future. It also helps you guys to think, and then it forces you to be able to keep each other accountable. Yes, if the money is together, you will not let your wife go shopping every other day. If the money is together, you will not let your wife buy unnecessary things. If the money is together, you will not let your husband use all the money to buy electronics. You will not let your husband to buy unnecessary things. Ghana for ye can be said, ye ni here and sana ye ni fata. And because the money is together, you guys will talk about it and see the things that are more important and these things that are not important. If your money is not together, there are a lot of disadvantages. And number one is you will not be one, because obia wonadrin. Everybody have a way of thinking. Everybody wants to spend their money how they want to spend it. And so if in the family somebody comes and say, hey, I need money, she doesn't have to discuss it with you. She just use the money how she wants to use it. If her mom wants her to break down the family house and rebuild it, she doesn't have to explain it to you. She doesn't have to even discuss it with you. She just go ahead and take that money and go and build that home that her mom wants her to do. And the same goes for the man. If he wants to use his money to help an old friend, an old girlfriend, you don't have a say in it. As a matter of fact, you won't even see how he's using the money. He will just use the money anyhow he wants. He will just spend the money anyhow he wants. At the end of the day, it's going to be your children who are going to suffer the consequences. Yes. And by so doing, you won't have money again back home. Because obia enam the baby. Inti obi misuse car, nobody cares. Obi enye ni sika ya, obia enke, because our money is not together. And just like I said, by so doing, your family is the one that suffers the most. And so as difficult as it may be when you put your money together, it is also the best thing for the marriage. It helps the marriage to do well. It helps the marriage to be one. It helps the marriage to think alike. I believe that in money, both of you should not be givers, and both of you should not be receivers. Yes, there will be a day that the family may need your help. But as marriage couples with family and children, you will sit down and agree which one is more urgent than the other. If it's the lady's family who need help, if it's the guy's family who need help, both of you will sit down and you talk about it and decide who you want to help first. And then next time you can also decide who you also want to help first. Because you have all this structure in place, when there is an emergency in the family that you guys were not expecting, you can go to the emergency funds and you can plan to see who need more help. Once a year, because you have a vacation money, you guys will be able to go somewhere and relax and have a quiet time with each other. And so this is what I want to leave you with, that most people think that if my husband is asking me what I'm doing with the money, that means he's controlling me. If I'm asking my husband, hey honey, what did you use this money for, that means I'm controlling him. No, that is not how it is. In marriage, if you understand each other, certain things are not even difficult. Certain things become so easy. Sacrifices be a making, it becomes easy. compromises making it becomes easy. Why? Because you both understand each other, and you know that you are with each other to better your lives. You know that you are with each other to grow. So because of that, you know that because we are together, our money needs to help us so that in the near future, when we are old, we'll be able to relax and enjoy life. So this is what I want to leave you with. Don't ever think that when you put your money together, it's being controlled. At the same time, everybody is different. Every marriage couple is different. What works for me will not work for you. And so as long as both of you have agreed that this is how we want our money to be, how we want to, distribute our money, this is how we want to spend our money, as long as both of you have understanding, I think you are good to go. So before I leave you, I want to share the tip of the day with you. You know how women, once we begin to have children, our children become so important to us that we forget our husbands. And so some of us, sometimes, we share our bedroom with our kids. We share the bedroom with a kid. And I'm talking about those who can afford the kid's own room. Trust me, not everybody can afford the kid's own room. But even if you cannot afford your baby's own room, make sure that your child is always in the baby's cot. Keep your child in the baby's cot. Do not bring the child to come and sleep in between you and your husband. Do not bring the child all the time to come and share your bed with you. I know we tend to do that. And so that is why I want to share with you that the best thing is let the baby be in his or her cot. If you need to feed him or her, you get him, you get her, you feed him, and you put him back into the baby's cot and come back to your bed and bond with your husband. Because if you don't bond with your husband, if you don't share this intimacy with your husband, if you don't continue bonding time with your husband, and you move your bonding time to the baby, by the time the baby is 3 years, your husband will also find a way to bond. And so before you realize, he's either okay being alone or he's bonding with the guys. And at the end of the day, these kids are going to grow up and they are going to leave the house. They are going to fall in love and they are going to leave. And by then, you have already lost a friend. And so in your old age, you will not be happy staying at home. So as women, let us remember this and make sure that you do not lose your friend because you are raising your children. God bless you.